Hey there folks, welcome ye all to yet another vlog of mine. I say yet another vlog. It's been a long time since we've done a vlog, people, and it's been an even longer time since we did anything like this on video. The last thing I probably did was a podcast, and that's been a while ago. I've been focusing so much on the Let's Play side of things that I just haven't I just haven't been doing anything like this. I've been so engrossed in wanting to do more Grim Dawn and more Fable 3 and Dragon Age and, you know, Skyrim. I mean, I'm just so engrossed, and then I've got Guardians of the Galaxy going on as well, and I'm off camera. So I've just been really throwing myself into getting loads of recording up for you guys. You can tell from the channel and how much content I've been putting up as to what I've been on with. But I have heard you. And I have heard the people that are saying, when are you going to give us an update? And when are we going to get to chat to you again? And all that sort of stuff, which I love. I love the fact that you guys miss me doing this sort of stuff. So it's great to be back, people. Yes, it is. And it's nearly Christmas, people. It is currently Friday the 20 blah. What's the date today? The 17th, sorry. It's the 17th. And, well, actually, technically I'm working on Monday. And then after that, that's my day job is done until the 4th of January. That's the whole Christmas break for us. It's a wonderful Christmas break I'm getting. And there's going to be lots of gaming going on and lots more recording going on. Can I just say this? Can I say no more? Flaggins up to you all, people. Flaggins up to you all. And it is a Friday as well, so I can say flaggins up Friday to you. I think you can see that. Never going to stop showing off a flaggins up mug, people, that my amazing son got me for my 50th birthday. Yeah, thank you very much. Can you think of a better present for someone? I don't think you can. So, yeah, cheers to you all. Now, truth be told, I've topped that up. I've actually, now, you'll have got the gist by the headline of the vlog, actually. I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of things. However, I have treated myself quite ginormously for Christmas. Somewhat out of the blue, but not so much out of the blue. I've been pondering on the Astro A50 headsets for quite some time. And I'm just going to very briefly, I mean, well, actually, yeah, I mean, the point I'm making is I've already recorded the unboxing of the Astro A50s for the Xbox. And what I decided to do was, there was a few things happened in the journey, and I thought that a couple of those things would be useful as little videos on their own. So they're only like a couple of minutes here and 4 minutes there that I've recorded before this. So what I did was I recorded the unboxing, of which is going to be part of this vlog. I recorded a fix to one of the problems, which you'll hear about in a little bit during the unboxing, and I recorded another one about how to get optical sound into the Astros, because the PS5 and the Xbox Series X no longer have optical, so I thought I'd put a little video up about that as well. So I've done like 3 recordings, 2 of which were quite short fixes, and both of those are in the unboxing video, but I thought as little individual videos would be helpful to someone trying to find the solutions that I needed to. The unboxing video itself was, I think that might be about 30 or 40 minutes long. But, I mean, you know, it's seamlessly going to be put together, people, because we're going to go straight into that unboxing video right now. I have for some time now had my eye on the Astro A50s, and I kept looking into them a little bit because I know they've been around for quite some time, and I know there's like a Gen 1, a Gen 2, a Gen 3, and a Gen 4, and Gen 4 is the one that I've got, and they just kind of remodel them a little bit and re-release them through the years. And the ones that are available at the moment were quite obviously built initially, well, they were built for the PS4 and the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One and One X, and that's fine, right? And they do work on the new consoles. Whether they worked out of the box in the old gens, I don't know, but the Gen 4s certainly work okay. And anyway, I decided that the reason for me buying these was that I have a pair of Turtle Beach ones, which were I think these were the Turtle Beach Elite 800X maybe? No, 800s, because I think the X is with the Xbox version. But anyway, this was the PlayStation version, and for the PS4. And they've done me proud, to be fair to them, and they come with, and I wanted something similar to this, because they come with this base unit, which they sit and charge on. They just magnetically pop down and sit in and charge. Now, I had the previous version of these. I forget what the name was. They were actually the Xbox Ones, but the way that I set it up, I still managed to get sound from both consoles via one set of headphones, and I'll show you how I did that. But the headphones themselves, they've done me proud, but I was never a fan of the sort of fake leather material. I've always been more of a fan of a material around my ears rather than this. It gets very hot and clammy when you're gaming for a long time, for me personally. And the previous versions of these had a material rather than this leather stuff, so they were more comfortable. The downside to the ones before this, and the ones before this, I might try and find a picture and show you if I can't, but they had an upright stand like this rather than a clamp down one, and the earphones clamped around them, and they didn't charge on that, they just sat on them, on the base unit, and the batteries actually went into the earpiece. You just unclip the outer part of the earpiece, put new batteries in and clip them again, which was ideal for me because I have 4 AA batteries charging next to me all the time for the Xbox controllers, and I love that. I love the quick swap in, swap out, crack on. And so I was a little bit disappointed in these ones so far as they had to charge like this, because I do like the ability to just smack new batteries in and go. However, that said, they never ever ran out of battery power on me while I was gaming in them. The only downside to them was that I never found them as comfy as the old pair, and it was that leathery type material. Anyway, as you can probably see, I'll show you the back of this just in case I refer to it. So you have a number of options on the back of this stand, and notably you've got the micro USB out, and then you've got 2 opticals. You've got an optical in and an optical out, and they're the most important part for me. Well, they were, but they're still important. So I wanted that facility because I feed my soundbar to my TV through that optical in and out, so that I can have my soundbar through the optical as well as the headphones through the optical, and everything works nice and sweetly together, whether the consoles are on or not. Now, as you can probably, I'll try and show you this. The main reason that I was renewing them is that the things have started to become, starting to flake away, both on here and on the earpieces as well. And there is no way that I'm aware of that these earpieces come off or can be replaced, or, well, maybe they can. But anyway, I felt like it's a good excuse to maybe treat myself. So I've hummed and hawed over the Astro A50s for ages. Another reason for humming and hawing was that I really wanted one pair of earphones to rule them all. And in the end, I bought well, here's what happened, right? So sometimes I game on the PlayStation, but I want to talk to my mate on the PS5, right? So this is what I had set up. And the way that I made that work with those headphones was that the sound was coming out of the PlayStation 5 into the TV. So your PlayStation 5 is set to output the sound to the TV, and the TV optical goes into that base unit, which also feeds out then into the soundbar, so that I can either have the soundbar or I can have the headphones. And I wanted the same setup, right? So what that meant was that it didn't matter if I changed the TV channel to the Xbox when I had the Xbox and the PlayStation on at the same time. I'm then hearing the sound from the Xbox because that sound's coming out the TV too, but I'm also hearing my microphone chat from my mate on Craigie Boy on the PlayStation 5, or anyone else who want to speak to the PlayStation 5, and that works a treat, right? So the only downside to that was, because the one part that plugs into the PS5 is of course the microphone part, and the part that powers the base unit, which is the USB, that's where the microphone kicks in. Obviously then that's a problem if you then want to chat on the Xbox using that one, because this was specifically for the PlayStation. Now, on these headphones, there was a way around that, actually, because they have an audio in, well, audio out, as it happens. So, in fact, I've got a two-way cable that plugs from there into the Xbox controller, and I can chat through that via that. It's not as good sound, but it still works. So, I had that option as well. However, through the years and what have you, I have ended up buying the official Xbox headset, which I really love, actually. They're really, really smart for the price tag, which I think was about £100 or thereabouts. Fantastic little headset. I love the design of them. I love the fact that the audio is twisting this, and it's very, very simple to use. The microphone, you can have it so that it auto mutes on the way up, or you can turn that off and just hit it yourself. Really, really simple to use. Fantastic headset, really good sound for that price range. And again, I bought the PlayStation official ones, and they're both fairly lightweight. but the sound in them is really, really good. What they don't have is really a lot of bass and that richer kind of tone, but they are fantastic, especially they're both fantastic, but when it comes to the 3D audio for the PlayStation, they are particularly good on those official Xbox, the official PlayStation headset. So anyway, the headset of choice that I was going for was the Astro A50s. Did a lot of research on them, and I still found a couple of issues when I opened them up. Not a problem with Astro as such, but I will delve into that. However, this video is about me unboxing the Xbox ones. Now, I have, just to prove, the PlayStation version, which I've already unpacked, and it's sat down beside me down on the floor here. So I have already opened up the PlayStation ones and tested them out. I have one issue with them, which we'll talk about in a bit, and I'll also put a separate video up, just a short video to explain how I got around this problem and tag it appropriately, because it took me a little while to find a video that showed me how to get around a couple of the small issues that I had. Now, the first of those issues wasn't really an issue. I'd already figured that out. It was just making sure that the optical in and out idea that I had still worked on the Astros. So yes, it does, is the answer. And I'll put a little video about how to make that work as well. Because remember, there's no optical out on either the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5. The optical outs have gone. And I mean, Phil Spencer was pretty open about it when he was asked. He said it was really to cut down price. They judged it on not enough people were using it, really, to justify paying, putting it in and making the box more expensive. So they just left it out, because the Xbox One X still had it, PlayStation 4 still had it. So there you are. So shall we crack on without further ado and open up the Xbox One, which arrived today. Now, it comes in this outside box, and there's a nice, beautiful box inside it. There is a whole bunch of stuff on the back that you can have a little bit to look at. It's a beautiful box inside, actually, I have to say. Very, very nice indeed. And the only difference that seems to be between the two of them, and it's not a nice difference actually, is that the PlayStation ones they have like a silver part, a silver logo and stuff on the side of the headset, and these have a gold. For the Microsoft ones have a gold or a bronze, whichever you want to call it. So like most of these things, they open up from the side, and it was a little bit awkward getting the PlayStation one out, so bear with me. So this just slides out effectively. So I'll just give it a little bit of a helping hand, people. There we go. There we go. And that's the outer box. And here we have, people, here we have the splendour that is the internal box. It's an absolutely gorgeous box with a beautiful design on the I don't know if it's not embeveled, it's just sort of printed onto the plastic there. Absolutely beautiful. Simple in its design, but there's little bits sort of all around it with little logos and stuff. It's fantastic. Even on that side as well. And it opens up, if I can try and do this smoothly, like so. And there we have the beautiful Astro A50s, people. You can see immediately you've got the Astros themselves, you've got the optical cable in a circle here. So I mean, immediately when I opened up the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation version of this, I mean, the quality just rang out to me immediately. Like, the quality of these things is just gorgeous, and immediately you can see this beautiful soft earbud. Well, it's not a bud, you know what I mean, earpiece. So I immediately was like, oh, I think they're going to be really nice and comfy. Now you do notice the weight on them a little bit. They're not as quite as heavy as the Turtle Beach ones, but they are heavier than the lightweight sort of Xbox and PlayStation official ones that I was just showing you a minute ago. But so there's the headset itself, and you can see on the side there you've got a sort of bronze/gold logo, and it's the same on this side, and it's also actually the same on the top there. And if we compare that to the PlayStation version, you'll see that it is silver with silver all round. Otherwise they are identical. They are an identical set of earphones, and the only difference between the two is the bass unit, which we'll have a look at now. So there's your optical cable that was sitting on the top. Now, I actually, when I plugged in the PlayStation ones to fit them up, I used the optical cables that were already in my PS5 feeding. Sorry, not my PS5. There isn't an optical in the PS5. The optical that was already in my TV and fed that to the back of the system. However, I will talk about the sound difference between the optical and switching over to feeding it through the USB on the PlayStation 5, which there is a bit of a difference in the sound. I mean, they're both great, but I think I'll only use the optical when it comes to that certain situation where I'm on Xbox and want to talk to somebody on PlayStation, because outside of that I'll switch to actually feeding the sound from the PlayStation itself, because it does sound a lot richer. Anyway, I'm digressing because I was going to talk about it later. I just had a massive deja vu there, people. The Matrix. It wasn't a cat or anything. It was just, I felt like I'd said that before. Maybe I have. Maybe I've recorded this already, and who knows, people. Right, here we go. So you then got your manuals. Now the manual's inside. To be honest with you, the instruction manual inside there, it's like a fold out thing. It just gives you it was particularly frustrating because my eyesight isn't quite what it was, and even with glasses on I was trying to figure out what the hell it was telling me to do. See if we can get it out. A little bit of sellotape on there. See if I can show you what I mean, people. So there's a few manuals in here. That's interesting, because that one isn't. That Dolby Atmos one, I'm almost positive, is not in the PlayStation one, because I don't think PlayStation do Dolby Atmos. So that's an extra booklet that you get in this one, if I remember rightly. So that's interesting. I'll have a little look at that later. So they are capable of doing the Dolby Atmos, which the Xbox Series S does. X does, sorry, and S, I think. Now, the one that was causing me no end of eyesore yesterday was, yes, this little one here. So you get this little manual with it, which has got just a few images of plug this in there, plug that in there. There wasn't really any, there's no read out loud thing to do. It just kind of says plug these in, you know. So I think, to be fair to it, it's just saying plug the USB into your Xbox and off you go. Now, bear in mind that both of these sets work with PC, and we'll show you how that switches over in a second. Anyway, so that's it really for the manuals. There is other stuff there, but you know, it's all that tiny writing, no one ever reads it stuff. Well, I'm sure somebody does somewhere, but most of us won't. Stick those back in for a sec. So that leads us to das base unit, people. So we're now into the bottom end of the box here. So I've taken the top layer off where the headphones were, and we're now into the second layer. And you've got the USB, micro USB underneath a little cap there. And the base unit just here. And that is it, people. And it's a bloody gorgeous box though, honestly. I joked today with someone saying I'm almost tempted to buy another piece of furniture just to have the boxes on. Display them out in the open. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's shut that up, make a bit of room. So yeah, so it looks like a decent length. Again, I haven't actually used the cable itself yet, but it looks like a decent length to get from the, you know, it looks like it's probably a meter or so, which is, and it should be enough to get from wherever your device is, your Xbox or PlayStation, into whatever. This cable is the same for both. It's just that the technology in the base unit, it's only the base unit that's different between the two pairs of headphones, and obviously the colour that's on them. I haven't tried this yet, but somebody else's video I was watching on YouTube was saying that you can actually buy one headset, whether it be the PlayStation 1 or the Xbox One, whichever you want, and if you want to then also do what I'm doing, which is be on two devices, you can actually just put the PlayStation headset into the base unit of the Xbox headset, and it will know that you've transferred over to Xbox, and it will work with the Xbox. So the headset will just, so the headset itself, other than the color difference from what I'm seeing video wise, is exactly the same. It's just the base units talk in different languages, and it's really only for the microphone, because everything else is going to be feeding the same stuff, although I suppose Dolby Atmos comes into play as well. So I think these are the same on the back. I'm just checking now. it does look to me, I've got both base units here, and they are both exactly the same on the back, apart from they, instead of saying, on this one, it says, and it's really hard to see, but there's a switch button here, and on that black bit there it says PC or Xbox, and that's how you switch it between the two devices. So if you're putting it on your Xbox, leave it switched to that. If that is Xbox, it's the other way, I think. And if you're doing it to PC, switch it the other way, and you can game with it on your PC. I think when it comes to the PCs, it doesn't matter which of these you buy. You can buy the PlayStation 1 or the Xbox One. I suppose the only thought process in your head is, will I ever buy a console? And if I do, which one would I go for? In which case, get that one so you're covered. But you'll notice the ports on the back. You've got, as I was talking about before, you've got the two opticals in and out. So that covers me on PlayStation 1. Well, it covers me for both. As it happens, the Xbox One's not getting any fiber optical into it. Optical into it, because it's just going to be for the Xbox anyway. I only need the optical if I'm going to talk to someone that's only got a PlayStation. Therefore, my optical cables are going to be going into the base unit for the PlayStation model. So those won't get used on this. But in your case, if you want to make this work either on the Xbox or from the PlayStation on an optical cable, just set your PlayStation 5, your Xbox Series X, to feed the sound. It's in the settings, feed the sound to the TV, and then set your TV to output to on my TV it's soundbar or theatre system, something like that. So you're not using the TV's audio, you're using the external audio. So you set that up on your TV, plug your optical cable into your optical port on your television, and feed that cable into here, and feed your base unit. Hang on a minute. Let me get this right now. So your TV optical goes out into this, and then it passes through another cable, so that feeds the headphones, and then the optical out on this, you've got another optical cable, feed that out and put that into your, if you've got one, your home theatre system, like your soundbar or whatever it is that's got optical on it. And that means that the sound passes through this into your soundbar. It means you could either have the optical sound on your headphones or the soundbar, and it works all at the same time. You don't have to switch between the two. And that's how you get optical working for PS5 or Xbox Series X. So the only way you can do it, you have to have it on the external device like your TV, otherwise there's no hope. Outside of that, if you want the sound coming out of the console itself directly into the system, then you're obviously going to be using the micro USB. It does come with all of this little tape around it, which we'll take off. I'll take off after the video. Nobody wants to see me remove plastic from things, people. It also comes with a USB port on it, of which I don't think I'll have any use for, but you can do. I think that is possibly for feeding in other devices to listen to music or whatever. And there's also a silver, I think that might just be an audio jack port, you know, which I think actually might be used for feeding other audio in as well. It's an audio jack by the looks of it. And outside of that, really from a gaming perspective, you're just interested in, make sure that's set to PC or Xbox or PlayStation, the other one, and make sure that your micro USB comes from there into your Xbox. Now, here's a problem that I did find. So that's really it for the unboxing. There is nothing else to show you. And there we have it. That's the gold set of the Astro A50s, people. And obviously they look a lot nicer with the plastic removed, but there you have it. But the quality of them is just outstanding. Even the base unit is really nice quality. And all of this at the front lights up, telling you how much battery is charged and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, see the actual quality of these earpieces is just insane. And even that softness is on this headpiece at the top. And me, I'm a guy with a shaved head, because I don't game with a hat on, not unless I'm sort of streaming or something. So it can get quite sore on my head if the headphones I've not got a comfortable headband on them. And I have seen a lot of people saying that they are quite plasticky, but to be honest with you, I don't feel it, because it is really good quality plastic, and the weight of them is, you can feel, I mean, they're not heavy, but they're not light. I mean, they are nowhere, mind you, now that I'm feeling them together, they're a little bit heavier than these, certainly. But they are super comfortable. And they are, the head, the actual earpiece, so they actually go that way. And the microphone, when you turn the microphone down, it auto activates, and when you turn it up, it auto mutes. Now you can't remove the microphone, but that's not really a problem because it tucks away so nicely, and it bends as well. So this is completely adjustable, in, out, up, down. So when you're tucking it away, you can put it right up, and you don't even know it's there, people. And it's like a flat shape rather than, like a cylinder or whatever. Really, really nice, really comfy. These are some beautiful metal rods that are for the adjustments of your headset, and they just slide up and down. There's no clicks, so you're not tied to, a notch. They go up and down as much as you want them to, just smoothly. All of the buttons are on the side here. You've got your on-off button at the top. The 2 buttons below, you just tap them. Now that one, I think, is turning the stereo or Atmos on and off. And I think this one at the bottom seems to be presettings. And you just jump through them, and it beeps once, and then beeps twice, and then beeps 3 times. So you've got, setting 1, setting 2, setting 3. And you can alter those settings as much as you want using, there's a software feature that you can use to do it that comes with you can download it from the Astro website, I believe. I don't think I'll need to do that, but if you really want to refine your settings, there's a whole stereo theatre bit of software you can get from there. Basically, I think you need to plug the bass unit into the PC, turn it to PC, and then adjust it all, and then take it off, put it back to PlayStation or Xbox, and then go. And yeah, I mean, that, as far as, the other feature was, you can, to move, like when you're chatting to somebody and you want more game volume and less of them, or more of them and less game volume, you simply tap either that way or that way to increase or decrease the game volume against the, balance it out against the chat volume. So it's dead easy to use at a touch. What I did notice, which was really odd, when I switched to doing that on the optical and then going back and feeding it directly from the PlayStation, on the PlayStation version, it was opposite way round. I don't know why. You tap it the other way for optical, and then tap it the other way for feeding it directly from the USB sound. But yeah, I'm absolutely delighted with them, and they are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I haven't adjusted these to my head yet, but I would add that there's no sound cancellation, certainly with these soft ones anyway. Whether that changes with, there is a mod kit you can get with these. I didn't buy the mod kit. It wasn't available for the PlayStation anyway when I ordered it from Amazon. And let's just flip that down so you can see what it's like, and you can bend that in or what have you. And there you are. That's what they look like, people. Yeah, so there is a mod kit you can buy, and it comes with a set of cups like this, which are that leathery material rather than this soft material. If that's what you prefer more to the soft ones. But as standard out of the box, it's the soft covering. And I believe, although I haven't tried it yet, I believe that they are a magnetic. Probably gonna break the bloody things. Here we go. It's just a magnet that holds them on. So if you want to change the ear cups, you just take them off. It's a little tip thing there you can just pull out, and then they just snap back in. Really strong magnet, that as well. And that's it. And I believe the mod kit also comes with another one of these as well. I guess it'll have the same sort of material as the other earbuds. But that just clips out. I won't do it because I don't need to take mine off. But that clips out, and you can put another headband on. They're really well thought about, and they're really, even, you can tell that they're made so that they can be twisted about and, constantly put on, put off, and all that sort of stuff. I absolutely love them. The minute I took them out of the box on the PlayStation ones, and even now unpacking these, I just love them. And you can feel the quality in those earpieces as well. Volume up and down, by the way. I don't think I mentioned it there. The volume up and down does have little clicks, for want of a better word. So you can feel how much you're going up and down. And outside of that, that's it. That's your Astro A50s, people. Absolutely delighted with them. I can't recommend them enough. Now, here's a thing. Here's a thing. Where's me? Oh, there it's there. Now, which version am I on here? I get them confused, people. It's a good job there's one gold and one silver, isn't it, really? So here's the thing. One problem I did find on the PlayStation side is, and there didn't seem to be any note of this anywhere on the system before I bought them, when you power down your PlayStation 5 into rest mode, there isn't enough power coming out of the PlayStation to charge the base unit, to charge the headphones. Now, that is a big problem because when you're not using your headphones, you want them to charge. Otherwise, when you go to game, you've got to sit there for 2 hours waiting for the things to charge up if they've run out of battery. So either that, or you've got to leave your PlayStation on, or you've got to take the USB or have another USB cable to plug in the back of it to put into a plug socket in the wall somewhere that will charge it. So the Astro folk are blaming PlayStation. PlayStation are going, it's not our problem. But quite clearly, the PlayStation 4 output enough power in rest node to power them. So why PlayStation won't just do a software patch to push out a bit more power, I don't know. Maybe it's not that simple. However, I did find a great lad online who came up with a tip and a way of doing it so that you can do it with a little bit of a cable. So for those people who are scratching their heads or going through a bit of a nightmare with it, so basically what I've done is, at the moment, you would plug in the... You'd plug the micro USB from the PlayStation into... Well, I'm showing you the Xbox ones, but it's the same. You'd plug the USB, micro USB from here, and it would go straight into the back of your any USB port into your PlayStation. You can do it in the front if you want, but I will be doing it in the back. And that's how your sound, if you want to output it directly from the PlayStation to the headphones, is going to go through. Same with your microphone, straight through that. Now, if you need that extra boost of power, what we've got here is, instead of plugging the micro USB directly in, I've bought this Y cable, right? So it's a USB female to 2 USB males. And what you've got there is 2 males, but they're different. One's white and one's blue. And the white one is power only, and this one is power and data, right? So what will happen there is, instead of plugging the micro USB straight into your PlayStation, you'll plug the micro USB from the base unit into here. That blue one will go into the back of the PlayStation, and that white one will go into a plug in the wall. And that will feed you the extra power you need. So when you put the standby on your PlayStation 5, that'll give you enough power to be... So that way they'll always be charging. And that was $6.99 on Amazon. So the only thing, obviously, is it's quite a short cable. You can get longer ones, but that's the one I bought. But I have extension leads in my house, so that'll be fine to get that into the PlayStation, but that probably won't reach the wall socket or the plug socket for charging the plug. So I've got just a bog standard USB extension lead, which will get that a bit longer, so it will go to the USB plug in the wall. And that's it. I hope that made sense. It's dead simple. And in the end, because I was scratching my head for ages, so I'll try and I've forgotten the chap's name. I do apologise. I'll try and see if I can find the link to his video, and because he actually shows you him doing it on the actual unit as well. So perfect solution for $6.99, job done. And if they patch it later on, then fine, and you can just dump the cable. But for $6.99, it gets you around a really irritating problem. So there you go. That is the unboxing of the Astro A50s, and also tells you how to get optical or get your optical sound into the Astros if that's what you really want to do, and also tells you how to get the Astros charging if your PlayStation 5 is in rest mode, people. I would stress to you, however, well, not stress is a bit harsh, people. I would say to you that having bounced between the optical coming out of my TV into those headphones and feeding the sound directly from the PlayStation into those headphones, the sound was much stronger coming directly from the PlayStation, in my opinion. It just sounded a lot richer. It went a lot louder as well. They both went loud, but it was just felt a little bit more powerful. So I think there's a lot to be said by not finding, by not finding an alternate way of getting the optical out. I think, because my concern, well, I'm a big fan of optical sound, but I think the work they've done on the USB audio is quite clearly very impressive. And I think some of the problems with USB audio historically have been interference from the motherboard and stuff like that, but they've clearly got all that shielded off. So I feel like, for me, the only time that I'm going to use the optical solution, which will be there permanently anyway, is when I want to chat to someone on the PlayStation but be playing on the Xbox. So I'll be getting the sound out of the optical into my ears from the TV, which will be showing me the Xbox gameplay, but my microphone chat will be coming from the PlayStation, which will be on, but I'm not visually looking at it, and therefore the sound from the TV isn't coming from there. Because remember, your microphone sound isn't coming from that, it's coming from another level, people. So there you are. I hope all that makes sense to people that are wondering how I'm managing to bounce all that stuff around. In the end, I think the journey I've taken there was an expensive one. Because the minute I bought the first pair, like, I hadn't planned to buy 2 pairs of Astros, people. They arrived, the PlayStation ones arrived yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, I love these. And at that point, and especially after playing around with the sound between optical and USB directly from the unit, I was like, I need the Xbox ones, you know, because I spend actually more time on the Xbox Series X at the minute than I do the PlayStation 5, and I just, you know, and I ended up last night just playing the hell out of Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm still trying to get through on and off between all of these Let's Plays I've been doing, and it was amazing. People playing, the sound was incredible. Especially all the music in that game and sound effects and the chit chat in a game, right? When you've got other characters walking around you and stuff, some headsets lose that conversation. These do not. Like, I found these, especially on the setting that comes straight from the machine itself, straight from the PlayStation, not using the optical. The sound was really, really clear all the time. Even if a character was speaking away behind me, I could hear the conversation. And a game like that where there's loads of banter going on, it's absolutely priceless to be hearing that stuff. I remember playing Final Fantasy VII Remake with the actually, I think it was on the soundbar, but with these it was the same issue, and there was loads of conversations going on between, I was going to say what's his name, Cloud, and the other characters, and and there's a funny bit where you have to walk up this massive flight of stairs near the end in this massive building. I missed all the conversation because it was just every time I turned around, the conversation was vanishing. So I think there's a lot to be said for using the sound directly from the console into these Astros, rather than, you know, using just anything in general. Just take it straight from the device it's meant to be coming from as much as you can. But having said that, it still sounded great coming out of the optical. I mean, it wasn't that it was bad. It was just I noticed a little bit of a jump in the richness when it came directly from the console itself. And I'm assuming that it's going to be nothing but the same when it comes to the Xbox version. So, when I get it all hooked up. So there you are. I hope that's been of help to somebody out there. I'm going to put up, I'll probably put up a quick short video showing the Y cable off again, just so that there's a little short video there for someone to see that if they're looking for that one particular problem. And I'll probably do a very quick one for the optical lead as well. But I hope as an all-rounded unboxing and a show off of my different types of headsets and how I feel about them all, the fact why I went for the Astros, and my end setup and all that sort of stuff, without going into a whole bunch of videos. I may, by the time I post this up, I may well have got some video footage of where I've ended up putting it all and all that sort of thing. And because I'm about to record a vlog after this for about other stuff, but also to show these off in a proper vlog. But I wanted to do this as an unboxing just so that people could see it for what it was, as me getting my new Astros, people, and I love them, absolutely love them. So that was the Astro headsets, people. Now, I've still, as I say, I recorded that before recording this vlog. So I've kind of pieced that into the middle of what I'm doing now. But, you know, it was all at the same time. Everything looks the same behind me. Everything looks the same on me, because it was all recorded right back to back. And I just felt doing those as individual pieces first, then recording the main vlog was a bit easier. in my brain anyway, for me to cope with, and I can splice it all together where I need to and just keep those little videos separate, and I'll put those up later on for anyone else that's thinking about it. I mean, it's quite clear that, I mean, these Astros are, I mean, the minute I took them out of the box, as I would have said in that vlog, in that unboxing bit, the quality, the comfort, the sound, just lovely. Thank you very much. And, you know, don't get me wrong, one thing I didn't mention in that segment was the price of them. But I mean, I guess you all know that they're quite expensive, but they're £250 a piece. So it was quite the treat to buy myself 2 pairs. But I just adored the PlayStation 5 ones so much. I thought, I've got to have a pair for the Xbox Series X, because I'm spending more time on the Xbox Series X than I am on the PlayStation at the moment anyway. That might change in the future. But, you know, and in comparison, I mean, I showed these off in the other segment as well, but in comparison to these, which are great headsets, and if you've ever thought about going down the £100 route or $100 route, I think, you know, it seems to be like for like at the minute. There should be I'm pretty sure they were around £90 to £100 these. And that's the official PlayStation and Xbox ones. And the sound's great. Absolutely great. These ones are brilliant because there's not even a dongle with them. You don't even have to plug a dongle in. It just speaks directly to the unit itself. Ask me why PlayStation have not got a headset that can connect directly to their console without having to plug a dongle in, even when it's their own fucking headset. What is that all about? You've basically wasted a USB socket just to get a headset working. I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I've bleated on about this before, about the fact that, in my personal opinion, the world of chat and gaming and chat has gone seriously downhill since the Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 was sublime. Like, the headsets you bought worked, the wireless ones just worked with it. They had a little earbud one that hooked around your ear, and it charged for God. I mean, the charging it seemed to last forever. It was so comfortable. The sound on it was great. I don't know why. I've posted up on numerous times on Twitter to ask them if they'll bring them back, because sometimes you don't want to sit with a big headset on like this. You just want to chat with your mates and have the sound coming out the TV. Brilliant. Now we're back to headsets you've got to plug into your bloody handsets, and these things just work via Bluetooth. Didn't need a dongle. They just connected. I mean, I don't understand why they've never brought them back. It's bizarre to me. It's like someone's decided that everybody wants to wear massive headsets, so there's no point making just the chat ones anymore, or doing anything to progress them. It seems weird, and it seems even more weird that they can't make headsets for PlayStation that just talk to the PlayStation without sticking a dongle in it. Like, build it into your PlayStation. Anyway, it's little things, people, that wind me up. You know what I mean? We know this already. Anyway, I think we've covered everything to do with headsets. I can't think of anything I didn't cover. All I'm going to say is, Merry fucking Christmas to me. Here's my £500 gift to myself, and I've not even said it all. I mean, I had the PlayStation one was set up and running last night, obviously, and I was playing Guardians on it and I was loving it. Obviously, then ran into the issue with not being able to charge them when it was powered off. So then, when I ordered the Xbox set, I ordered the Y cable, which I showed you earlier, and you know. But in order to show all of that off, I've disconnected it all again. So around my feet down here is all of the bits that I was showing in that video. So once I've recorded this to you guys, probably I'm gonna edit it all together, get it rendering, and then start piecing together where I'm going to put the headphones and get it all linked up and stuff. And then it'll be sweet times, because I probably won't game tomorrow, so it'll be sweet times on Sunday when I get down to the gaming, and then work on Monday. And then that's it, people. Holiday time, everything's set up. Let's go, Astro! Marvelous. So there you are. So the rest of the stuff, I do have other stuff to talk about, people. So we will now put the Astros sweetly to bed for the time being. Or you will anyway. I've got them lying around my feet. I'll have a little sip here. So actually, yeah, I wanted to talk a bit about what I've been recording and a few things that jumped out at me through I mean, surprisingly, things like the Game Awards and all that, there wasn't anything that kind of popped out where I thought, oh my God, I've got to make a podcast or a vlog about that. You know, a couple of things, but, you know, I'll chat a little bit about a few things that popped up. But in the main part, I really wanted to talk about the recording I've been doing and the games I've been playing, and what my plans are for possibly Christmas, maybe that sort of stuff. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another one of these before Christmas or a Christmas Eve one. I mean, I think, this will be a healthy one anyway, because it'll probably be quite long, because I've already done I've already recorded the Astro bit, which you'll have watched now. But yeah, I mean, it depends. If I get a Christmassy buzz on Christmas Eve or something and end up having a little tipple or something, I might record a little short one just to say Merry Christmas. But cheers to you all. Have I said flagons on it? Anyway, that's why this has been topped up. I think I was going to get to that point earlier, because I've been sitting here for ages recording those other bits and the unboxing, and now I'm doing the vlog part. So, yes, we've been playing. Let me mostly talk about Grim Dawn, but let's just talk briefly about where I ended up and why I ended up where I was, because I was recording I think we were doing a bit of, well, we did Diablo, and then I was hitting Titan Quest quite hard, and then what popped up first? Microsoft basically FPS boosted Fable 3, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Origins, and some other stuff which I've now forgotten about. And immediately I was like, I need to see Dragon Age Origins in FPS boost. I need to see Fable 3 in FPS boost. And then, of course, when I started playing them, I was just in love with them. Oh, and then, obviously, Skyrim Anniversary then launches. And I'm like, well, I've got to see what that looks like. And to be honest with you, Skyrim Anniversary was meant to be me continuing the playthrough from the PlayStation 5. Because, I mean, I'd spent, how many hours was that? I mean, it must be at least 50. and on and off camera, I'd grinded out the bloody blacksmithing on it to the point where I could make my dragon armor. So we were at 100, I think it was 100 blacksmithing and all that sort of stuff. I've got my dragon armor on, Lydia's got her dragon armor on, we're rumbling along, and it was a great Let's Play. Everyone was loving it, I was loving it. And then the anniversary update comes along and all my saves stopped working. I was like, fucking hell. So what was happening was, and I think this was in a previous podcast, to be fair, what was happening was you would Skyrim would start, you'd say continue, or you'd load your save, whichever way you did it. It would you'd get the loading screen with the little picture spinning around, and then it would just load with a black screen, and you could hear noises in the background, but there was nothing. A little bit of music maybe, but you never ever got the game to come up. And anyway, it became a known issue, and they patched it, to be fair to them, within a few weeks, I think. So it is now working, and there is the option to go back to that playthrough. But now that I've started the Xbox Series X playthrough, it is so beautiful to play that I'm more than happy just carrying on with it. That said, of all of the videos I've been putting up, it's the one that has suddenly been getting the least amount of likes. Now, let me say this, and let me say no more, people. If you stop liking the Let's Play videos, I stop recording them. Let me make it as plain as day, right? It isn't because I'm being stroppy about it. It just, to me, means that you're not enjoying them anymore. So I stop recording them. So if you want to see a Let's Play continue, please, please, please hit the thumbs up button. Because if you stop, like, I think one of those Skyrims has got 50 views on it and no likes. And the one before it has got 8 likes, which is quite a lot in my little world. So if you want to see a playthrough continue, please hit the like button. It makes all the difference to me. It gives me that boost to keep recording for you. And bear in mind, I'm juggling 4 Let's Plays for you at the moment, because I didn't want to let anybody down. So I will happily do that. I will happily juggle 4, but just make sure you hit the thumbs up to let me know you want more. Because if you don't, I will stop and it will just go by the wayside like a lot of other Let's Plays I've done. Because the minute I don't see thumbs ups, the minute I think, well, people are bored now, I'll let it go. So you must hit the thumbs up. But well, you don't must. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, people. But if you want me to record more, please tell me by hitting the thumbs up button. So anyway, that's how I came to be playing all of these games. And bear in mind that I'm also playing Guardians of the Bloody Galaxy off camera, or trying to. I hadn't touched it in 2 weeks. Last night was my first opportunity to give it a crack, because I set the headphones up, wanted to try them out, and it was the PlayStation version of the headphones. And I really wanted to hear what they sounded like, not using, using the proper output from the PlayStation rather than using the fix that I showed you in the previous part of using the optical. Although I did try both, but in the end, I'm using the one that comes straight through the PlayStation because it sounds better. So that was great. So I've got all of this going on, and that's a huge reason why I've not done any of the vlogging and podcasting. But let me now Fable 3. Beautiful to be back in that world, and I can't put the bloody thing down. I'm loving that. Origins is actually the one I haven't touched for the longest. I'm dying to get back to it. We're stood at the bottom of the Mage Tower waiting to go through the big doors and do the Mage Tower. So I'm dying to get back to that. Skyrim, I'm not dying so much to get back to until I know people want more. So, I'm enjoying the playthrough, but I will do that last if it's got the least amounts of thumbs ups without any shadow of a doubt. And Grim Dawn's going nowhere because I'm absolutely loving that game. I'm absolutely loving it. Grim Dawn, in my opinion, is actually far more interesting to play and fun to play than Diablo 2 was. And don't get me wrong, I understand Diablo 2 is a much older game. It is a terrific, fantastic, awesome game, Diablo 2, but obviously shows a bit of its age in some of the monotony of areas, some of the things that are repetitive after a while. There's far more diversity, I think, in the Grim Dawn universe. The way that you can build your character in Grim Dawn, the way you can mix classes together, the amount of classes, the different... I'm playing as a gunslinger, but you can easily play as a sword and shield or a mage, or you can play that game in so many different ways. It's just incredible, and you can mix all the classes together. Well, at least 2 that I can at the moment. I haven't done because I want to be uber in the class that I'm in. So I'm just loving it, and every area I go into feels like it's fresh and new, and I want to see what's there. I feel like, unlike Diablo, where I felt like I was forced to just stand there and get pummeled half the time in a boss fight and just have to keep going back, I feel like in Grim Dawn you have the facility and the ability to slow enemies down, run away, hit them, stick glyphs on the floor. Maybe I just picked the wrong things in Diablo, but I felt like Diablo, you've either got enough armor or you haven't. In Grim Dawn, I feel like as a lighter character, I can shift myself about better, and I can fight back even though there is a pummeling going on. So I feel like, don't get me wrong, I realise I'm playing this in normal mode and not hard difficulties, but I do, even in normal, which is what I played Diablo on, it's a like for like balance comparison. So I am, from that perspective, also loving it more, because when I do come up against a boss, I do feel like I do stand a chance. Like, even though I've died fighting a boss first time in, I felt like I could have done that, I could have done him first time if I'd thought about that, or if I'd shuffled there, or if I'd, So, from that perspective, is also a little bit more interesting to play and nicer to play. The amount of loot and the crafting's great. Everything. How I've not heard about that game. I know I don't live in a PC world, I guess, but... I only knew about that game because good old Timsky, God bless you, sir, told me that game was coming to Xbox. And that's when I got wind of it, and I had it. That was it. I was buying it day one and seeing what it was. And admittedly, when I first put it on, I thought, I'm not sure. And then within an hour, I was addicted, absolutely addicted to it. And I've been addicted ever since. It's fantastic. And I understand that the only grumble I've got is that I've never been so infuriated by posting up videos of a Let's Play and people winding me up by saying, it's not 60 FPS, it's 30 FPS, you're lying, change your thumbnails. Now, I investigated this because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't putting wrong thumbnails up or what have you. And I found several articles, and I took the text from one of the articles where they interviewed a developer from that company, because there was a bit of a hoo-ha that there wasn't it was playing at 1080p and there was no 4K, and but the developer, they're not a big developer, they're quite a small developer. They are a lot of the people that worked on Titan Quest, basically. They're not a big studio, and they do not have access to an Xbox Series X dev kit, so they can't do the work they need to do in order to make it 4K 60 or whatever. However, what the guy said was, he said, what we've done is, and I've spoken to the programmer, and he's told me that it's 1080p, but he's left the cap off of the frame rate. But what we said was, we targeted a steady 30 frames per second at 1080p, but he's left it uncapped for those consoles. Therefore, at some point, the games are playing. For me, I feel like it's playing between 40 and 60. That's what my gut's telling me. That's what it feels like on screen. If someone proves to me that that's not the case, then I'll absolutely be more than happy to change my thumbnails. It's not a problem. But I'm going by what the devs have said. I'm going by what I'm looking at on camera, and it feels at times that it isn't 60, but it feels at times that it is. So I don't know, but I'm going to go with what the devs are telling me, and that's why the thumbnails sell 60 FPS, because I think it's fair to the developer, if they've left it uncapped, that when we're playing on or streaming or let's playing or pre-recording on YouTube, that we show that off to people so that they know that they're getting smooth gameplay. And let me say this, and let me say no more, although I will say more. It doesn't matter. It plays fucking beautifully. Don't worry about it. Stop harping on about the fact that you believe it's 30 and I believe it's 60 and you're having a massive fucking hard on about it. Just go and play the game. It plays beautifully. Stop winding people up online and go and play the fucking thing. I'm getting angry, people. Don't be a knob. Don't be a dick. Just go and play the game. Nobody cares. All right? I'm not putting 60 FPS on my thumbnails to try and get more viewers. I'm putting it there because I feel like it helps the developer in enhancing what they've told people, and I'm enhancing that by showing people what it is that I'm recording and what they're seeing. If nothing else, judge it by what you're seeing on screen. And if you watch the footage that I'm posting up and believe that that is not a good gaming experience, then there's something wrong with your eyes, people. Because even if you don't think it's 60, it's still playing beautifully. And it's still so much fun. Like, if you just stop moaning and go and play the game, you'll be having so much fun instead of just moaning and making yourself feel bad. Go and have a good time instead of moaning about it. Blimey. I understand that people might want to wait for an enhancement for Xbox Series X. I mean, or PS5. Oh, well, it's not on PS5, actually. But Xbox Series X and S. But to be fair, S is never going to do. It might do 1440p right enough, but it's never going to do 4K. But if you want to wait for 4K, that's absolutely fine. But those people that are genuinely saying to me, "I'm going to wait for an upgrade," isn't because they don't believe what I'm saying. It's just because they want to see 4K version. And in which case, you may well be playing in 30 FPS anyway, because most games that are 4K will end up being converted to 30 FPS. Maybe that one will play because of its style, might play 60 FPS 4K, but I suspect what you might get is a 4K uncapped and a 1080p solid 60 once they get a dev kit that they can actually solidify things on. But I'm having a lovely time with it, and what a game it is. I could not recommend Grim Dawn enough to people. And if you're not convinced by what I'm saying, just go and watch some of the videos. Just watch some of the footage. It is amazing. If you love that kind of game, it's fantastic. And for me, it's probably, I don't know, it's been a while since I've played Diablo 3, but even still, I think it might even be more interesting to play than Diablo 3 is, because and Diablo 3 is a bit aged as well now, to be fair to it. I mean, I think, did Diablo 3 not come out on 360 first? I think it was remastered for last gen. So we didn't even get a Diablo last gen. But for me, it's even more interesting than 3 because it just, there's the loot system. Well, I mean, Diablo's loot system in 3 is just incredible. But for me, I feel like in these sort of games, you can get the same old shit and tat falling out all the time. This game has never made me feel like that. Yeah, okay, there's a load of magic items, but you get past those pretty quickly. But you never grow bored of picking stuff up and go, oh, right, okay. The resistances, the protection, the different abilities, the skills that are added to things. You never feel like you're getting the same shit dropping all the time, and then there's a new one. It does, and it regularly gives you greens and blue. Greens I'm getting through my ears now. Blues, which it's rares and epics, isn't it? Epics are the blues. Getting loads of regular blues. And I think when you hit level 50, you start getting the legendaries drop. Although I did get one legendary drop in the dungeon when I finally hit a forbidden dungeon. It's not called a dungeon, it's a forbidden something. But yeah, and can I say a big thank you to everybody, and I'm not going to start spitting names out because, to be honest with you, I've not. If there's any pre-planning to this, I would have jotted some names down. But I think individually, I've thanked you in the Let's Play videos themselves. But thank you to all the people that have been leaving comments, all the people that have been leaving tips and advice on things to do in the game and how to get around things, what things mean, what they are, what I'm picking them up, why I'm eating them. You know, all this stuff is really helpful. And it to be, you know, I know. You know, there's been a couple of comments saying, "Hey, the wiki's there. You can go and read the wiki," and that's fine. And thanks for telling me about the wiki. It is handy to know it's there. But there's a couple of things. One is I like to record my recordings straight and not edit them, as much as I can, unless something happens or I end up really having to go check something online. I don't like stopping to go and check on something to then edit the video later. I like what people see to be my gaming moment for that hour or hour and a half straight through as much as I can. B, I love the communication between you guys and me. And if I figure this stuff out on my own, that communication then halves, you know, or whatever. It becomes less. So I'd much rather be having these conversations with people that might be giving me tips and advice than just going and looking at it in a wiki and not having a conversation with you guys or getting to know you. Because if I hadn't brought these questions up in the videos, I might not have spoken to any of you. So for me, it's much nicer to say, someone out there let me know. If I never get an answer, then I may well go and look it up and see, you know. But more often than not, someone will go, "Oh, Steve, you just need to do this. Oh, Steve, you just need to do that." And it gets me chatting to you guys, and I like that community. So, you know, there are reasons that I don't want to just go and use the wiki, but it is handy to know that it's there if I don't get an answer on something and I do want to go and figure it out. To be fair, there's not been anything that stopped me playing the game and having fun anyway. You know, I'll pick it up anyway and lob it in my mouth, people. That's the guy I am. I'll try anything once. Cheers again. God, I'm thirsty, people. I feel like I've been recording for about 3 hours at this point. So, yes, Grim Dawn, can't recommend it enough. Now, when it comes to what I'm going to be doing over the break, to be honest with you, I had kind of a set plan last year. Like, I'd had this plan that I was going to stream on Christmas Eve, stream on Christmas Day. It's the only time of the year that I really did stream at all, because I like doing my pre-recordings and then keep doing it that way. But every now and then, like Christmas and New Year, it's quite nice to do a live stream and chat to you guys live. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that this year. You can let me know in the comments below if it's something you'd be interested in. I haven't got any plans to do it. If I do it, I may fall back on something. To be honest, I don't know that I've played... I played Fallout. I'm not sure I've played Fallout 4 since that live stream last Christmas day, whatever it was. I think Boxing Day might have been the last one we did. So it could be that I just throw that on and get, you know, because it's a game that's easily jumped into and just, you know, so that save's still there and we can go and play that at 60 FPS. And I had all the Christmas, I think I had the Christmas mods on, so she was running around in her sexy Christmas outfit. We had the Christmas music radio on, you know, so we could do that stuff. It's more likely that I'm just going to keep recording and doing all my recording stuff. But let me know in the comments below if you are hoping that I was going to do those sort of streams again, and then I'll have a think about it and see what maybe we can do. But most definitely, I'm going to be doing a lot of recording with my new Astros on, people. My new Astros. I'm going to be doing a lot more recording of Grim Dawn. If you guys are still thumbs upping all the other three, then I'll be recording those. I feel like at some point over Christmas I may well get... I can't see me swaying away from those for any particular reason, because we like to stick to the RPGs. I can't think of anything else that's jumping out that you guys would want to see. If there is, let me know. But I feel like I might get Mass Effect Trilogy over Christmas or in the sales, because I still want to get it, but I don't think it'll be something I'll play on the channel. I don't think it's something people will be that interested in seeing me play, but I definitely want to get it for my own benefit. I've still got Alan Wake there to play remastered on the PlayStation 5 after I finish Guardians of the Galaxy off camera. But there's so much RPG stuff we can play. Grim Dawn's got about 1,000 years in that game, so if you guys keep thumbsing up Grim's Dawn, I'll happily keep recording loads of that. Here's a question for you. I put a poll up of who wanted to see me, because it was right after I finished Diablo 2 playthrough, and everyone was like, go and do the whatever they're called, insane and hell mode. I can't remember what they're exactly called, but I think it's insane and hell, or hell mode and insane mode, whichever way around. Do the next two difficulties, or at least do the next difficulty, and you'll get better drops, and you know. So, and yes, I did want to do that, but I wanted to just have a break from it for a minute. It put me in the mood for Titan Quest, which I was loving. But I did find Titan Quest, much as though I'd love to go back to it, and Grim Dawn is what stopped it recording, actually. But I did find Titan Quest wasn't quite as fun and interactive with the fighting. Once you kind of had your big move on one button, you kind of just felt like you weren't mixing them up that much. Whereas Grim Dawn's the complete opposite. Like, you're constantly using all your Uber moves, and you know. So, but I mean, I was still enjoying Titan Quest. But anyway, that's what kind of spurned Titan Quest on, just for a change of scenery. But I had every intention of going back and doing another playthrough of Diablo 2 on a harder difficulty. But I didn't get back there. But I just wanted you guys to know that it's still in my thought process, and I do still want to go back there. Whether anyone wants to see it by the time I do get back there. To be honest with you, if I hadn't discovered Grim Dawn, I probably would have gone back and done Diablo 2 again on a harder mode. But the poll, well, actually, what did the poll say? Let's go and have a look, shall we? It was pretty unanimous that people wanted me to do at least the next level up. Your channel. Community. Diplomatic community. Diablo 2 Resurrected. Big finale. Blah, 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 blah. Who wants to see me do it? So we had, normal playthrough was enough at 27%. Gimme Nightmare mode playthrough. Gimme Nightmare mode playthrough 10%. Gimme Nightmare mode and then Hell mode at a whopping 63%. So 63% of 30 people. Excuse me, people. That's highly unprofessional. 63% of people out of 30 wanted to see me do both the next modes up. So there is a big shout to go back and do it again. But let me know in the comments below if that's something you're quite keen to see. I suspect that some of the people that joined the channel to see me play Diablo, because the figures did go up when I started playing it, might have gone off because I didn't do it. Hopefully not. Hopefully you're still with me, and we're playing Grim Dawn, which is a similar ilk, and keeping you interested that way. Yeah, it was interesting to see the end of that, actually. But also, you know, 30 people out of a channel of 6,500 still doesn't mean that there's enough people to make it worth, you know, because you're only looking at what there, 60% of, I mean, maybe 20 people maybe that are going to be viewing that regularly of the people that voted. So whether or not I would actually get enough interest in it when I did start playing it on the hard mode, I don't know. But I think there's enough interest in Diablo, just full stop, for people starting to play it. I think when I played the Diablo 3 playthrough, there was a huge amount of interest in it. There wasn't anything new about it. It was just that someone was playing Diablo 3. So, yeah. But anyway, it is in my thought process to go back to. And I don't think I was ignoring you or the poll, people. It's just that what came along in Grim Dawn kind of overtook everything. All right, where have we got to, people? So there you are. So my plans are just to keep recording, see what you guys say about streaming. If I get the itch to stream, I probably will anyway. It's still all set up to do it. So we'll see what happens come the break. May well do another couple of vlogs. We'll see what happens, or podcasts even. I have missed doing them, but I've just been that engrossed in doing the gaming that, you know, it is what it is. And I think from a channel perspective, there's more people, by far more people watch the Let's Plays than watch the vlogs. But it is nice to do or podcasts, but it is nice to do those, just to have a chit chat and talk about new things and let you guys know about what my thought process is and what I'm doing on the channel and that sort of stuff. And it's just nice to catch up with you guys. And you guys tend to communicate with me quite a lot when I do these vlogs and podcasts. You tend to feed back a lot of your thoughts and opinions as well. What else do we have on this list? Got all the Astro stuff done, all that stuff done. Diablo 2 modes done. Alright, so a few bits that I picked up on in the old gaming world, people. We had Halo Infinite was released. Yes, it was, people, finally. And got cracking reviews, so it did. So I think at the moment it's sitting on an 87 Metacritic score, which is impressive for any game, people. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm really chuffed that it's come out to that acclaim, especially after the announcement trailer from, a year and a half ago that was just, people really backlashed on. And, so they definitely did the right thing taking a year out. My personal opinion, a year and a half would have been better because, as the few things I'm about to talk about would have, well, firstly, I'm really happy the games are doing well, really happy about all of that. But here's the thing for you. There was a guy, somebody was telling me a story about, no they weren't, somebody wasn't telling me a story, I was watching a video of someone telling this story, but some guy that had driven 7 hours in America to get the game on disc because he wanted a physical copy of that game. He'd been waiting so long for Halo Infinite. And he didn't want a digital copy, he wanted it on disc, so that was always his. And drives 7 hours there, 7 hours back, puts the disc in. The campaign is not even on the disc. So the only thing that's on the disc is the multiplayer, which means when he put the disc in, he had to wait for the blur amount of gigabytes of campaign to download, and the physical copy he's bought is completely defunct because the game's not on it. So he might as well have just bought the digital version because all that he's got out of that is a box. And that is just ridiculous. And how a company can get away with doing that to somebody is beyond me. I've got a lot of respect for Microsoft. I've got a lot of respect for Phil Spencer, and I don't like saying bad things about them at the moment because they are doing a lot right. But that is not on. Like, you don't put a game like Halo out with Halo Infinite on the box, nothing on the box to tell you that the campaign's not on there, or if it is, it's in tiny weeny print somewhere. You gotta put the fucking campaign on the bloody disc, people. Come on now. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And here's another thing. Because Microsoft are trying to jump both generations at the moment, even if you do get a game on disc, it seems like, from what I'm hearing and seeing, and Digital Foundry were kind of confirming this when I was watching their weekly podcast the other day, that what you get on the disc, it's not the big Blu-ray discs because the old systems can't read them apparently. So it's the smaller of the Blu-ray discs, which can only hold like 50 gig or something. So the last gen version will go on the disc, but if you want the new gen version, it downloads it, which probably answers the question as to why bloody Assassin's Creed took about 25 years to download when I bought it on launch day, and it looked like shit anyway because there was screen tearing all over it. So I'm really not happy with that way that Microsoft are doing it. I'd rather Microsoft would have had boxes and discs for the Series S and X, and vice versa for the last gen ones, the way that PlayStation have done it. This isn't an issue if you're a digital player, and it's not bothering me with things like Grim Dawn or things that because they are digital games. So, but it isn't nice as a customer who goes to a shop that picks up a box that says Halo Infinite on it. Halo Infinite should be on that fucking disc. You should not be downloading the campaign for that disc. That is not right, and it is not consumer friendly in any way whatsoever. And if I was that guy that had driven 7 hours there and 7 hours back, I'd be starting a campaign to complain about that, because it is shocking behaviour from a company, in my opinion. Absolutely shocking. It's just not on. You kind of get it with a game like Destiny, for example, because it's a game as a service. If you know about Destiny, you're not forever going to have Destiny content on it. But even with Destiny, even when you buy that version like Taken King on a disc, Taken King's on the fucking disc. It's not the bog standard version of Destiny. Well, actually, that might not be true, but it could be that the Taken King is a DLC, now that I'm saying it out loud. But with the games as a service, you can kind of forgive it, kind of. But if that's what Halo Infinite is, then you need to be open about that. If you're going to say that Halo Infinite's it's a multiplayer with games as a service, and the campaigns, we're not going to make another Halo, it's just going to be Halo Infinite, and we're just going to have campaigns thrown at it like we do with Destiny, then I guess that will make more sense. But that's not been relayed to people, if that's what that game is now. So for me, the way that it feels is that Halo Infinite is not a games as a service. It feels like, because they wanted to make that deadline. And here's another thing as well. Well, let me finish that. Because they weren't gonna, they were just making that deadline to get the game launched. The multiplayer launched in beta first anyway. They obviously put that on the disc. The campaign was so close to the bone for the release that they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait for putting it on the disc and then shipping the discs to get to the shops in time. So I think their time frames were short. Even still, like, you got to find a way to have that campaign on the discs. Like, that is seriously out of order. That is shocking. Like, that is one story of a man that drove 7 hours to get, you know, to get that game on a disc because he loves Halo so much. To then get home and then find out that the campaign is not even on the disc is not right at all. Like, that needs sorting out. And they need to start being transparent about what is on discs and what isn't. And then we need to have a proper conversation about what should be on a disc and what isn't. Because for me, this is why pretty much every way the games that I've been buying new, like Guardians of the Galaxy, have been, and Resident Evil, have all been on PlayStation, because I know when I buy the PlayStation 5 version, I'm getting the game on the disc for the PlayStation 5. I'm not getting a half-assed disc with a PS4 version on it that's to download the PS5 version. The game is in the PS5 box, it's the PS5 game. And that, for me, is what should be happening on the Xbox. The upside to Xbox is that they've got this smart delivery system going on, right? And that's perfect for digital. But it comes to your boxes, Phil, seriously, you need to be having the game on the on the disc for people. Like, it's not right. People are spending a lot of money on these consoles so that they can play and buy the games for that console, not buy last gen's version and get a 50 gig download for this gen's version. Like, we want it on the disc. And I understand that there's people there that are going, oh yeah, but we're moving towards digital. Not everybody wants to move to digital. And I think there is room to leave discs as an option. Like, why does it have to move to digital? If people want to have a disc, just give us a disc. It's not that expensive to produce discs for the people that still want physical media. It's also the only way to protect games going forward, because it's not, you know, big companies fall, people. If for some reason Microsoft fell at some point and all their services went, where are your games coming from? You know what I mean? Massive companies have fallen before. Don't be fooled into the fact that you think that these places can last forever. Big companies can fall. You know, even for me, I feel PlayStation have definitely done that move right. A generation is a generation. And even they've managed to do smart delivery of a description. It's not been as seamless, I grant you, and it's been awkward in places, and it's not always been free. But I prefer that method of that's the old one, that's the new one, give me the new one, give me the old one. Not this really grey, fluffy area in the middle where you've no idea what you're getting on the disc and no one's being upfront with you to tell you what it is. I actually tweeted up when I was buying Assassin's Creed for the Xbox to the Xbox tweet account. Well, I can't remember which one it was. Xbox. I think I tweeted Xbox support. Phil Spencer. I mean, I'm not expecting Phil Spencer to answer me, but you know, Phil, a few other people, that Major Nelson, people like that, just asking what do I actually get on the disc. I never got a response from any of them, not even the Xbox support, telling me what is on the disc and what isn't. I think I even Ubisoft in as well. Ubisoft support, never got a response, because that says to me they don't want to tell you. They don't want to tell you what's on the disc because it sounds bad. And if you think it sounds bad, you shouldn't be doing it. That should tell you enough about the fact you shouldn't be doing it, because you don't want to tell people. If you don't want to tell people the honest answer, then you're not doing it right. It's as simple as that. And that's how your moral compass should work. If you're like, oh, it's a bit embarrassing to say that. What should we say, Dad? Don't say anything. Then, you know, your moral compass should be telling you you're not doing it right. You need to either clarify what is happening or change what you're doing, because it's clearly not right and you don't think it's right either. So there you are. Anyway, I digress quite a bit there, people. But in the end, I'm happy that Halo's done well. Disappointing that the campaign is not on the disc. It's just utterly bizarre. Where did we get to there, people? On to Alan Wake 2, which was announced at the Game Awards, and Sam Lake, who is the head developer at the studio I'm now having a mind blank on, Remedy, Who made Alan Wake and make well, yes, okay. What the hell? I'm trying to say a name of a game and I'm getting Quantic Dream, which is the bloody studio of PlayStations. But anyway, Quantum Break, I think it was, and such games. And back in the day, did the spooky Max Payne's one, didn't they? The Max Payne 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So years and years and years have gone by of a very core group of fans wanting Alan Wake 2. Never actually happened. We did get Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which was great to just get back into the world and play. And that's, those games are on... well, Alan Wake has just been remastered, of course. And the fact that it was remastered did kind of get a few people excited, thinking, well, if they're remastering it, maybe they want people to get into that world again because they're thinking of Alan Wake. And sure enough, Alan Wake 2 is announced. Now, here's the really cool part, right? So, Alan Wake 2 is going to be a survival horror game and not what the original one was, which in effect was really an action story game. I mean, they called it a sort of psychological thriller. And even he describes it as an action game. So they're now turning Alan Wake into a survival horror game, which says to me it's going to be more Resident Evil than, and that I think is a perfect fit for that world and environment. Really excited to see what they do with it. They've already confirmed that the same actors are coming back. Interestingly, they use a different voice actor than an actual motion capture actor for Alan Wake, and it seems to work really well. So they've brought both those actors back, both the voice actor and the physical actor, who was the same physical actor for Quantum Break, as it happens. And funnily enough, that physical actor was actually the face of the main character in Quantum Break when they first showed that game off way back when the Xbox One was about to get launched. And I always preferred that guy as the character. I was really intrigued. And then when they made it, the young guy who's, I'm forgetting his name, but the young guy who's in it is actually a twin, isn't he? There's two of them that they look the same, people, funnily enough. Identical twins. I always get confused which one's doing which program. But when they put him in, I don't have anything against him, but I just felt like it took away from it. Like, I was really intrigued with that guy's face and everything that was going on, and then it didn't feel like a fit for me when it finally changed to the other guy. So, anyway, interesting. But yeah, they're coming back, and they've confirmed that it is still going to be third person and survival horror. So, we know that, and after saying that, he said, right, we're going dark now until we have something more to show you. So, we're not going to hear from Remedy again properly for quite some time while they crack on and make this game, and they have said that they're targeting 2023 to give us Alan Wake 2. So I'm super excited. I mean, I love Alan Wake. I'm dying to get to this remastered one so I can play it all over again and get all the big T's for it, the trophies, people. And I'll do that the minute I finish Guardians of the Galaxy. But as I'm juggling 4 games for you guys and Guardians of the Galaxy, that's 5. That was where I went to school when I did maths. You can't see me. Hey, spot the wrestling fans. And then, I'll dive back to Alan Wake. I still, off camera, want to go back and finish Immortals Phoenix Rising. That last recording I did for Immortals Phoenix Rising was the last time I touched that game, and I was loving that game. Absolutely loving it. And the reason I stopped recording it was because there was a core set of people watching it, but every single time I was posting up those videos, I was losing subs. And, I at the time probably wasn't doing enough different Let's Plays, but I have a full-time job, so there's only so much I can do. Juggling 4 at the moment is quite a lot, so maybe if I'd been juggling more with it. But I think at the time I was throwing up some Skyrim or Dark Souls and stuff at the same time, but every time I posted up Immortals Phoenix Rising videos, the subs just seemed to be dropping like flies. So I just felt like for the health of the channel I needed to stop putting them up there. And it did seem to help. So, maybe it's one of those things. If I'd kept doing it along with another 3 games like I'm doing now, then it wouldn't have had the same impact. But anyway, those are the 3. Like over here to my left, there's a spinny thing with all my PlayStation games in it. PS4 and PS5 stuff. And then the ones I'm actually going to tap into are sort of right by the console, by the TV. And those are the 3 games I've got out. Guardians, Alan Wake 2, Remastered, and for the PlayStation 5. And Immortals Phoenix Rising is still sat there because in my brain I'm thinking I still want to go back and finish that game. So there you are. What else do we have, people? Alan Wake. Oh, actually, the Alan Wake 2 trailer, which I probably have schmelted in, is just a CGI trailer, sort of just to announce that he's coming back. Interesting, they've given him long hair and he looks really like, you know, in this dark place, and, you know, it's been through the fucking mill, though, I tell you. It's no wonder. So, yeah, super interested in it. Exciting, people, exciting. 2023. PlayStation 5 covers are coming, people. If you don't like your white and black box that looks like a hub, you can now, well, as of January, there are 5 colours, I think. You've got the black, I think there's a pink, a dark purple, a pink. Might be 4 colours now, I'm thinking about it. Obviously, the white one that already exists. But the sides can just be clipped, and then you clip the new ones on. I am going to be quite tempted, actually, to buy the black ones and just make it black. It's just a bit dominating. Like, in a room where everything else is black or silver, to do with electrical, you know, stuff, to have a white and black bloody controllers, even the charger from the controllers is white and black, the PlayStation's white and black. I mean, it's just not a nice looking system anyway, and it's just not, I mean, I'm not being against one system or the other. I don't like the look of the Series X, and I don't like the look of the PlayStation 5. I think they both look horrible, but they're great machines. Like, you know, I don't really in the end care what they look like. I care what his playing looks like. The machines are fantastic in the innards, and that's what matters. The controllers are great on both sides, so, you know, happy gaming. But I'm no doubt there's going to be slim versions of these released, or different versions of them released, that are going to look a lot nicer than these ones do. So, but as it stands, the way things are, I'd happily pay the $50 or whatever it is for two plastic sides to it that are black rather than white, and it will just make it more subtle and not as jump out ugly as it is at the moment. I'd probably be tempted to get myself a black controller or two, but I can live with the controllers for now. I'm just not a fan of white stuff, to be fair, anyway, which probably doesn't help. So anyway, it's nice to see that they've got that coming, and, you know, it's a bit of a shame that the companies that were going to do that for us a year ago were issued with bloody court things from PlayStation saying you can't do that, that's against copyright, boo. And the company that was going to do it was so small, they thought, well, we can't take Sony to court to try and win, so we'll just not bother. So they clearly had it in their heads they were going to do it. For me, I'd rather have a proper PlayStation one anyway, because it'll have the proper logo and all that on it anyway. So if it's going to be fuck ugly, I want PlayStation on it. I want it written on it, you know what I mean? So that was good news. I saw that the other day. There was also a clip of Quantic Dream people who make the Heavy Rain and... God's sake. I'm having a few mind blanks today, people. Heavy Rain and what am I trying to say? The one with Ellen, what's her name in it? Anyway, might not come back to me. But they're a fantastic studio. And they also did the one about the androids recently as well, which name I'm forgetting as well. But I always play their games, always enjoy them. But they're always decision-making games and weird control, like press L to walk, and, you know, because it's all about manipulating the controller and all that sort of stuff. I always love them, always great, right? But they've got a Star Wars game coming called Star Wars Eclipse, and whether or not it's going to be that type of game or whether it's going to be a completely different thing for them, we've got no idea. It was a massive CGI trailer and it looked spectacular, but as the guys on Digital Foundry was saying when I was watching their program, to refer to that again, it didn't tell you anything about the game, doesn't tell you what it is, doesn't tell you where, well, it kind of suggests where it is. It certainly, you know, it tells you the universe that it's in, that you see familiar planets, familiar types of creatures, all that sort of stuff, but what sort of game it is, what it's going to look like in game, what it's going to play like, you know, what the story, I mean, we don't really know anything other than, wow, that was a fucking spectacular trailer, you know. So anyway, it's exciting that they've got a Star Wars game. It's exciting that so many studios are getting Star Wars games. It's super exciting to see that franchise finally getting done by top end studios to make games for it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out the back of all of these Star Wars games. More, I mean, I'm just on its own looking forward to Jedi Fallen Order 2. Just love that game. Matrix Awakens, Unreal Engine 5. Yes, I showed this off on the channel and I downloaded it. I had no idea what to expect, but the Matrix Awakens goes in hands with the Matrix movie that's come out. And it's really showing off what the Unreal Engine 5 is capable of. But they managed to get Keanu Reeves and, oh my god, another brain blank, whatever her name is that plays Trinity. So they got Neo and Trinity back into the studio to do mocap on them, and I mean, it's brilliant, right? So you see both of them at the beginning, and they're trying to mix real footage of them with Unreal Engine 5 footage of them, and it's like super. Like at one point, I was like, hang on a minute, is that actually a digital version? That's incredible. And then that was them at the age they are now, and then it goes into the trailer for the part of this this experience that was the car chase. It puts them back into their younger selves. So you've got Trinity, the way she looks in the original movies, and Neo as well, all in the car chatting, and then it turns into this big action sequence with this other character in the back seat. You start shooting at cars. You've got agents coming at you. I mean, it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. All right, all I did was use the right trigger and aim and shoot, and things were exploding. But I felt like it was in a Matrix movie. That's all I wanted. I just want a game now. I want a game. I want a Matrix game. Hello, internet. I want a Matrix game, please. Actually, I've got the Path of Neo upstairs. I could stick that on the PS2 and get going. But yeah, it just felt awesome to be in that world. I mean, you literally felt like you were right back in those original movies playing that. It was brilliant. I adore that world. I adore those characters. It's a little bit of a shame from a movie's perspective that Lawrence Fishburne's not in there, or at least that I know of. No spoilers, please, if he is. As far as I've seen, he's not in it. And obviously they couldn't get... I know for a fact that... there might be a spoiler moment in it where he is in it, but I knew for a fact that the guy who played Agent Smith couldn't come and do it because he was tied to theatre. He'd already signed up to do theatre work in other places, and he couldn't fit the filming schedule to do the movie. So that's why Agent Smith's not in it. But that's, it's okay. It would have been nice to see him back, but the two main characters are back, and that's the main thing. But for me, that film was always three main characters, and it was, Lawrence Fishburne as well as the other two. Morpheus. So a bit of a shame we couldn't get him back as well, but it is what it is, and apparently it's supposed to be pretty good. I think people are pretty impressed with it from who've got viewings of it so far, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they've done with it. Be interesting to see if they do anything more with that franchise after this, but it is just nice to see that franchise come back. Really nice. It's been 20 years, I think, since that's been touched, that franchise. So there you are. I mean, it's interesting. It's the same people that created the first ones as well that have brought it back. So it's not like someone just jumped on the bandwagon to do something for no particular reason. They clearly had a purpose for doing it, which is great. Is it the Wachowski brothers or something? But anyway, super impressive. I just loved it. I hope it's on the channel if you want to go and watch it. I recorded it for you guys to see, so you can see what it was. It's only about 10 minutes long. Just great fun, just to be in there for a bit. And then there was the Christmas plans, people. But I've already told you about the Christmas plans. I think this video might be about an hour and a half long because I've been chatting for about an hour, and I've already have put in the bit that I recorded before all of this bit, which was the unboxing. So I might have a little think. Yeah, no, I will. I'll put it all together. It'll just be a nice long vlog for you. To not put the unboxing in to this would be a bit odd, but I will do the unboxing video. Will go up on its own, but I will also put it where I said I would have put it, so you'll have seen it by now. But yeah, the unboxing will go up on its own along with the other two shorter ones that will go up on their own as well. So there you are. Oh, that was awesome, people. I've really enjoyed that. It's been, as I say in all of these things, it's a bit like therapy for me, this. It's been a while since I've had a good talk to my my psychiatrist, which is the camera. Or you guys, actually. You guys are my psychiatrist. My therapists, people. Is there a difference between a therapist and a psychiatrist, people? Answer me that and answer me no more. Well, there you are, people. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope there's been something in there that's been of interest to you. I hope you've enjoyed me just twittering on for a little bit. And I hope it's given you an idea of how much I'm enjoying the channel at the minute and what might be coming up in the future. If you've got any suggestions for me of games that are coming up in the future that you'd like to see, I think at this point we're probably going to say that we will keep it to RPG because every time I do something that's not RPG, people just really aren't that interested. So yeah, if there is something that you want to see me do and it's coming up in the future, or even something that I've not covered that you think a lot of other people will be interested in me showing off, then by all means let me know. Obviously, we've got 4 Let's Plays on the go at the minute, so you've got plenty of content coming. I hope that's covering everyone with an interest somewhere across those 4. They are very different 4 games, so there you are, people. There you are. I will try and do a little near Christmas vlog. Might just be a 10-minute to say hello and Merry Christmas and all that sort of stuff. But if I don't, Merry Christmas to you all, and I will try and catch you all in my Let's Plays throughout the Christmas period. Lots to come. I'm not going to vanish anywhere. I am at home all Christmas. I am, people, and get your little tiny weeny violins out and stuff. I am alone at Christmas. So I've got loads of time to do whatever I want to do. The cupboards are rammed full of food. I've got all of my consoles set. I've got my Astros ready. I'm ready, people. I am ready. I'm ready for Christmas. It has been, yes it has, an honour and a privilege serving for you in this vlog of mine today. And I shall catch you all in the next one, folks. Take it easy. Bye.